You see things that you think are real. We live in a world of illusion where you see things that you think are real. Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. But what is really real that we're going to talk about now is to imagine your own power. Not what's going to happen with technology, which will happen, and you'll help it get there quicker. But I want you to hear a little bit about your own power today. What you can do right now and how powerful you are. The majority of people wait for the masses to do something. When the masses do something, they join in and they join on board. But they forget that the masses are made up of individuals. Those individuals, each in his own, is extremely powerful. If they realize how powerful they are, if you realize how powerful you are, and what you could do to make a huge difference that affects everybody around you. If you knew your power and what you could achieve, we wouldn't be outsourcing jobs, as the politicians say, to overseas countries. We'd be more than adequate to do it ourselves here because we'd be 2, 3, 4 times more efficient. It's all about imagining and doing, believing in yourself, but know how it works. I worked most of my life. In high school, there was stewards cleaners. After school would go there, I would put the drape on the hanger, the sleeve on the hanger, and the janitor of all the cleaners. Clean everything up. I worked for $1.25 an hour. The only reason it was $1.25 an hour is because the steward had to pay that. It was required by law, or he'd be giving me 50 cents an hour. He was a very tightwad guy. So I come in one day after school, and he says to me to go to work, he says, "Johnny, come here, I want to talk to you." I said, "Okay." Talk to the steward, he says, "Johnny, I was upstairs yesterday, and I napped after I finished working. I was tired, and I dropped my watch on the floor. I put it on the table, went on the floor, and I went down, I picked it up, and I noticed under the cot I was laying on, there was no dust. I moved the cot. There was no dust. I looked behind the filing cabinets. There was no dust there whatsoever. Zero dust. You really are a great janitor." I said, "It's my job to do what I do when I do it, not when someone else is looking." Tightest guy in the world gave me a 25-cent raise to $1.50. Where I went to high school, I was the highest paid kid and maybe adult in the neighborhood. We didn't have a lot of money in those days. What it was if humans can imagine doing what you have to do when nobody is watching you, you're doing as if someone is right there watching you. And in your free time, you're not trying to elongate something. You're doing what you should do without people watching you do it. When John Paul Mitchell Systems was started with $700, 2 people did the job of everybody. First employee was 6 months later, Shirley Wong. She had to do the job of 5 people and then another 5 backup. 5 full-time jobs and 5 part-time jobs. All she knew is, this is the job that's available. Can you do it? She says, "Of course I could do it." And she did it. No disrespect to unions. I'm all for people working, and unions are great. But many times you have somebody working, doing one job, watching someone else doing the other job, helping someone else do another job. Where one person could have done it all, and then a lot of the jobs in the movie industry aren't exported to another country, and everybody complains about it. But through the power of one and the power of imagining what we could perform and what we could do, I want to bring you into the corporate world. How can we, with all these great innovations taking place, these great things of the future that we saw, these geniuses that were up here talking to you, brilliant human beings, what can we do collectively to create that change and that imagination immediately? It's all in the mindset. When you get up in the morning, you do what you normally do. I would eventually say a lot of you here probably turn on your cell phones, your computers, and what's the latest email, what's the latest text that comes in? You start your day off like that. That's your mindset. Try this. Get up in the morning, do whatever you have to do. Don't turn the computer on. Don't turn the TV on. Go right back to bed again. Either lay there or sit there and just bring the universe to you. Here's how you do it. You just be. It's virtually impossible when you first do it because 1,000 thoughts come through your head. We're human beings. So what you do is you're sitting in bed, look at the wall, look at the off TV set, look at the ceiling, look at the door, look at something in the room that gets your attention, and just look at it and just be for a couple minutes. Not 10 minutes, not 20 minutes, not 2 days, just be. When your mind wanders, find another spot in the room to look at so you're back in present time, even for a couple of minutes. Now go about your day. Don't think about what you're going to do. For that split few minutes, you're now becoming part of a universe, which is also part of global thinking. As we think about businesses, various types of businesses, we look at, as a business, you want profit. Well, I think now, if you can imagine, we need 4 Ps in all businesses, small and big. We need profit. We need you to be positive. We need the planet and the people. Those are the 4 Ps. If you could take care of all of these, your frequency jumps one more level. You're on a planet right now where the frequency is rising. Not just the tides, but the frequency is rising also. And so is your personal frequency. More people are doing more for others today than ever in the history of mankind. Now, many people say, well, I could imagine that, but we have 7 billion people. Didn't we at one time have 100,000? It's how many people per 1,000 are doing it. In other words, more people per 1,000 are doing it than ever before in the history of this planet. Caring about others and caring about other things because the frequency is rising. Many of you in here are business people. Others work for people that have businesses and you love what you're doing. How can you within business today change the future that politicians are having difficulty changing, that people in big business and big ad companies are having difficulties? How can you change it right now so that you could imagine a beautiful future where everyone is thinking about everybody else, you're happy because you're doing it, and you all grow because of it? If the complete mindset of everybody collectively is to do that, and you just knew what to do, you just thought about how to do it, it would happen. That's how powerful thought is. May I give you an example? Patrón, the world's #1 ultra-premium tequila, very high-end. Everything is made the best from the best plants, the best everything. But I bet what you didn't know is, because that brand came out and the thinking behind it, people that were impoverished have jobs. All the bottles of Patrón are out of recycled glass or crystal, every bottle. It's over 40 million. Now, would the gentleman in Guadalajara, Mexico, or El Taltanito, or Mexico City, that goes by the side of the road where people have thrown bottles, broken glass, missed the trash can, who goes there in a bag and picks it all up and goes down to somebody and sells it to them for pennies, will he buy Patrón tequila? No, there's no way he's going to afford it. But he's going to get a couple of extra dollars where this human being can now buy an extra shirt or maybe a taco at the taco stand for him or his family. They have a little better way of life. Now that person that sells the extra taco or two, is he going to be a Patrón customer? No, probably not. But he'll have enough extra business to be able to go out there and buy a shirt, maybe buy a used car, the next level up. Now, will that next person up be one of our customers? Possibly, who knows? But what's happening is from the bottom up, created from the top down, we're changing an entire economy and giving somebody something to start with. Because this is what we thought about as we started the company. When you have a company, you work for somebody, within your company, what can be done to benefit every single person along the way? What could be done? What could be done? Because then the frequency rises one more notch up. And that's what creativity and that's what Imagine's all about. You want your frequency to rise. Every time you do something for somebody else and ask absolutely nothing in return, you get the greatest high of your life. Nothing exceeds it. And I know about highs. I was a child of the 60s. But doing something for somebody else, asking nothing in return, nothing could possibly surpass that. And when I talk about collectively doing things, collectively, in the United States Navy, you take normal people, like myself, get us around several others that are normal, common people, and teach us how to take common people like ourselves. And because we work in a group and we collectively have the same thinking, the Navy made sure of that, we achieve extraordinary results. But what was the big difference? The Navy trains you to do things a certain way, trains you to talk to somebody and collectively do what seems to work and make it better if you can. That synergism makes it work. If everybody in this room had the same thinking, the same ideas, let's benefit everybody. How do we get rewarded? We feel good. How do you get paid? You feel good. How does it change your world? You feel good, which makes everybody around you feel good. Imagine leaving your house, walking down the street. Maybe when you walk out your door, you pass your dog, your cat, your somebody in your family, and you smile at them and say, "Good morning, how are you this morning?" Give them a little cheer and a smile. Down the street, do the same thing. If you're in an office where there's an elevator, when you get on the elevator, don't look at the numbers. Turn around and just say, "Good morning, everybody." The majority of that elevator is going to smile right back to you. And by gosh, when they get off the elevator, they're going to feel much, much better than they started out. Imagine a world like that. Well, the beautiful thing is, with all the technological advances happening, the longevity in life, that the imagination that we're doing right now creates this. They're talking about emissions, carbon emissions everywhere, and there are. Well, why couldn't whatever you do or whatever you're involved in offset those emissions? We have something at Paul Mitchell called tea tree shampoo and conditioner, all kinds of great products for your hair. However, what a lot of people don't realize is every single bit of carbon that is ever used, we've already planted over 500,000 trees to offset it. Does it cost us that much? No. It's so little, but it's built into your thinking. It's built into your imagine what you could do, but imagine that you can do it right now. And how do you do these things right now? What are some of the lessons that we go through to do things right now? Many times in entrepreneurship, people say, what are the secrets to success? Whether you're working at a job that you just love and you don't want to be the boss, or you want to start something on your own, what are the secrets? I share two things. Imagine these because they're going to happen. One, be prepared for a lot of rejection. Whether people close the door in your face or tell you it's never going to happen, you can't do it, you're too old, you don't have the education, you don't have what it takes, somebody else did it, don't listen to them. Don't let it affect you. If you're prepared for rejection, when it happens, it's not going to affect you that much. It really won't, because you're prepared for it. Of course, I was prepared for it. Like selling encyclopedias door to door without an appointment. Hi, can I come in for a few minutes? No, slam. You have to be just as enthusiastic on door number 101 as you were on door number 100. Just as enthusiastic. So you have to imagine yourself in this frame of mind. The second thing, and I say this to everybody that works for every single company in here or has their own company, very important. The second thing is that your service or your product must be the highest quality you can possibly make it, because you don't want to be in the selling business. You want a product or a service so good that you're in the reorder business, not the selling business. Someone wants to talk about it, they want to reorder, they want it to be part of their lives, or it's so good they want to tell other people about it. Not the selling, the reorder business. The quality comes along with that. And all along the way, your business, yourself personally must realize success unshared is failure. You don't need money to help somebody out. Take your time, help someone across the street. Pick up a piece of paper, smile at people. Biggest thing you could ever do, make the world happy. When God created this planet, He created several species. Now, if you're an atheist, it's okay. Call it the force. Let me just say God for now, so I don't have to say God, the force, God, the force. Let's just say God right now. God creates the planet Earth. And first of all, He creates, which a lot of people in different organizations want, a perfect social economic world where everything is free, you don't worry about a thing, you're taken care of. There's no extra imagination necessary because it's all going to be given to you. So he creates the oyster. He says, oyster, I'm giving you a free house to live in. I'm calling it a shell. I'm going to put it at the bottom of the ocean to protect you from your enemies. You have food, clothing, all the food you want, protection, everything you want, the perfectly taken care of while you're in your measly little life as an oyster, but you're not going to go anywhere. You stay there at the bottom of the ocean, but you're totally got your free food, free clothing, free everything you want. Then God created something called the eagle. Eagle, whole different species. Eagle, you want a house, you go out and build it. Take the top of a mountain, take the top of a tree. Go out and build your own house. You want some food to eat? No problem. Go out there and find an eagle. And the eagle flies through miles in the wintertime of rain, sleet, snow, and wind just to feed its young. Did you know the eagle fails 95% of the time? A total failure. It's so big and cumbersome that when it comes upon its prey, they're wild. They shoot off in a different direction. And it misses. 5% of the time it succeeds. And what does it succeed to do? It succeeded to be the strongest bird in the sky. The only one that we know of anywhere in the world that could fly into the thermals of a hurricane and ride them to have fun. Now the eagle, unlike the oyster, can go anywhere it wants. Anywhere it wants. Yeah, it gambles, it does this on its own, but it goes wherever it wants. Now that eagle, and not the oyster, is the emblem of America and also on the flag of many, many countries. You wouldn't be in this room right now if you weren't eagles. Don't only imagine, start doing it. Thank you. Peace, love, and happiness to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.